We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. I'm going to try to keep my energy up. I am tired. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 83 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition, part 2, really. A whole bunch of news came out. There's so much football news yesterday that we decided to split the episode into 2 parts. So we're going to do the basketball segment today, including the Hawks and the and news around the league. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I am your co-host, Norwood, and the club is going up on when? A Tuesday. We are here. We are feeling good. I'm ready to talk a little basketball. My Hawks are underperforming per the usual. John Collins is having a phenomenal night. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. To that, let us get into it.
Well, before we get into basketball, I do want to add this to the HBCU segment because some news came out today that was unexpected, to say the least. I think I would be more excited if what happened in Jackson State didn't happen. But Ed Reed has been hired, or they have an agreement in place to be Bethune-Cookman's next head coach. That's a big deal.
It's an excellent deal. Bethune is a great school that I support. I've visited, I've been to. Excellent friends with a lot of their alum. I talked to a few of them already. They're very excited to have Ed Reed as their head coach. I 100% agree with you. I think that there is a hangover for he who shall not be named. And I just look forward to Coach Reed taking over this team and catapulting them to new heights. Good hire.
Yeah, yeah, man. So the difference between this hire and the previous hire in Jackson is that Ed Reed is actually on the Miami Hurricanes coaching staff prior to being hired at Bethune-Cookman. He has experience coaching. He has ties to.
He died, but he got a quick scope on the way out. He's shooting now.
He's got ties to South Florida. Of course, you know he's got ties to Florida. But he has experience. It doesn't seem like the job was just given to him. I think it is definitely a splash move. I am excited to see Ed Reed and how he flourishes as a coach. Just from meeting him here in Atlanta. He has a cigar bar in Atlanta. He has a few investment properties. He's in Atlanta a lot. He's a real cool dude. Real down to earth. Doesn't move like a Hall of Famer. He moves like just a regular 9-to-5 Joe. And his personality and persona, I hope to see come through in Bethune-Cookman's team, because off the field, like I said, he's cool as a fan, but on the field, he's the quintessential leader. Like, he is the leader. So I can't wait to see how this plays.
And I think he's a good hire, and he's a little bit different from the other guy because he is more of a blue collar, limited pomp and circumstance. I came to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna do a damn good job at my job, and by damn good job, I'm gonna be the best. But all of that.
Oh, Lord, no. All of the hooping and hollering, the yelling, all
the extras that come with that, just not there for that.
So the SWAC, I mean, they've got a lot of coaches.
They do.
They have, of course, they got Big Hugh down there in Grambling. Now they got Ed Reed.
You're right.
They got Ed Reed and Bethune-Cookman. They got,
Bubba
of course,
McDowell.
Bubba McDowell at Prairie View, Fred McNair at Alcorn State, and then Mr. SWAC himself, Eddie Robinson Jr. at Alabama State. So
and Eddie George, they got all the
Eddie George at Tennessee State.
You're right. But
you have, not to mention, you have Willie Simmons, who consistently is in the playoff hunt at FAMU, along with others. It's just, I said Hugh Jackson already. I don't know. I don't even know who's the favorite anymore in the SWAC next year. It will be Jackson State, but they have. You think they would fall off with Dion, and they will, but they have quietly as kept to have a really good recruiting class, but not the best. Alcorn State has the #1 recruiting class in the in the SWAC.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a settling. You have to have a settling period, especially with all of these transfers right now from the portal. And once you kind of see where everybody lands, I think at that point you'll be able to better forecast what you're really looking at going forward.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And then you got, I mean, of course, at Southern, Eric Dooley. His recruiting class had all people that were 6'3" and taller, unless they were like a 6'2" linebacker. But like he did all offensive linemen and all big receivers and tight ends.
I like it. That's the Falcons' game plan.
That's everybody's game. That's college football. That's SEC game plan. We're going to beat you in the trenches. And along with Ed Reed, now you have Ed Reed at Bethune-Cookman. So you know those kids that leave Florida to go play somewhere else, they're going to be at Bethune-Cookman and FAM almost exclusively now.
Prayers to the state of Florida. Prayers to the state of Florida. You're attempting to recruit now, you have to deal with Ed Reed. And I hate to say it, but the entire state of Florida, nobody has a better resume in football at any level in the state of Florida than Ed Reed.
Yeah. Yeah, as a coach. Yeah, I mean, as a former player, coach. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And he's not it's so no nonsense. It's just, I came to play very good football. I play very smart football. And yeah, everybody in Florida loves the Hurricanes. I was on the Hurricane staff. Now I'm here at Bethune-Cookman.
In Daytona Beach. I could sell you a beach, or I could sell you some Alps. Which one you want to go to? Some mountains. Which one you want to go see? Come on to the beach.
Exactly.
And don't let them be good.
And hey, you don't think he knows who's good on that Miami team, who's not getting burned right now?
Oh yeah. Now that's one thing I do hope. We have said it multiple times. I'm awake now. We said it multiple times on. Go ahead. All them kids that are on PWIs and all that stuff that ain't getting no burn, and you have ties to the PWIs, send them on down. That's why I said the man up there in Boulder, hey, if you really love HBCUs and it's for that, for the ones that don't make it, that's not Louis. If it, it might be coach. Send the coach down to Jackson.
Send that coach back. Send that coach back. You keep that Louis. Keep that Louis. That's yours.
You have all of this.
Plenty of people are happy with a coach bag. Let me tell you that much.
And you have all of this NFL experience going to HBCUs is what's going to attract everybody. And speaking of NFL experience, the rumor mill is booming right now with Cam Newton allegedly trying or about to join Jackson State's coaching staff under TC as the quarterback's coach. He was seen in Jackson, Mississippi a couple days ago, and TC Taylor. And I don't know how I feel about this, but I mean,
I know exactly how I feel about this.
Well, I mean, you're biased. You hate Cam Newton, but I think this could be a move in terms of, hey, we're still getting you NFL experience, NFL lessons. People that have been in the league, that have been to the Super Bowl, that have been MVPs. I don't hate it. I just hope he's able to rein in his personality. That's like, it's almost like trying to make Dion an assistant coach.
I hate to have to ask this question. What about Cam Newton as quarterback coach?
I mean, his experience as being a quarterback in the NFL.
No, not for me. This is a no for me. This is a pass.
Why? Why? Talk it out. Explain it.
Every consummate student of the game, legitimate football savant, Cam Newton, not a student of the game, not the most cerebral player. And this ain't bias. He's a front runner. He's not really even a guy who is notorious for fighting through games, toughing it out. And when he loses, he's a bad loser. Terrible loser. It is a no for me. Strong.
I'm interested to see how it goes. I will always give the benefit of the doubt. I think hopefully
that sounds like veiled skepticism.
Hopefully he's mature enough and he's matured. If he hasn't matured, then you just fire him. I mean, it ain't hard. I mean, but the problem is, if he takes this job, I think the pressure's on him versus the pressure on Jackson State. Because if you honestly want to get into coaching, which is the only reason I can see that you take this job is because you want to get into coaching, then you have to mature. You have to be a leader. You have to be everything that encompasses being a coach. Because if you're not, one thing that young people can see is fraudulent. When you try to lead somebody and you ain't no leader, it's not going to work. They're going to get you out of there. And you ain't going to get nowhere else to coach because people are already skeptical. So I hope this works out. It's a big name. They're trying to keep the buzz at Jackson State.
And let me make sure that I shape this conversation the right way. I don't have any hate for Cam Newton. I do not hate Cam Newton.
Yes, you do.
But I
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Just because I do not hate Cam Newton, I can not think that you're a great quarterback and still like you, Tim Tebow. I think that Tim Tebow is not a very good quarterback. I do think that I do like him. I think that Cam Newton is not a great quarterback. Don't have any personal ill will against him.
Really? You don't think he's ever been a good quarterback? He won the MVP. He threw for 4,500 yards or 4,200 yards as like a rookie with one receiver.
I think he had one good season.
One good season.
Ran the entire season. He front ran that whole season. As I predicted, when he got down, he would go out. When he got down, he went out and he pouted. And I said that he wasn't that good of a quarterback, and that guy never materialized again. Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers.
You said he had one good season?
Ring of Honor. Yeah,
what constituted a good season for you?
One great season. The MVP season was the greatest season.
Okay, so that wasn't even his best. That wasn't even his best season. His rookie year, he threw for 4,000 yards. He had 21 touchdowns.
That rookie year was good. I'll give you that. I give you that.
The year Super Bowl year was what, 2012 or 13 or 15? I meant 15.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 15. I think it was in his fourth year when he won the Super Bowl. Went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Broncos. He threw for 3,800 yards, 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
You know who that sounds like?
Who?
I hate to say it. They're going to be mad. Sound like Matt Ryan to me.
Okay, if it sounds like Matt Ryan to you, why do you cape for Matt Ryan and kick Cam Newton?
Because Cam Newton is the most physically gifted quarterback that we've ever seen.
What does that mean? You just said he has stats comparable to Matt Ryan, yet you praise Matt Ryan all the time, but you kick Cam Newton. Why do you do that?
because Matt Ryan's never had a defense. Cam Newton had a excellent defense.
But what does that have to do with him throwing 4,000 yards and winning the MVP? He didn't have nearly the offensive weapons that Matt Ryan had. He had Steve Smith, and that is it. He had nobody else. So when you say you don't hate Cam Newton and I laugh at you because I say, that's a lie, this conversation right here is a lie. I mean, proves that that's a lie.
You think that Cam... You think that? Well, this is also going to be the big difference.
You about to pivot?
Matt Ryan is going. No, I'm saying right here, Matt Ryan is going to the Hall of Fame. Cam Newton is not going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he did fall off a cliff. Yeah, he fell off a cliff. But you're saying he had one good year, which is foolish. That's foolish to say. Okay. That's like saying. That's like Josh saying Matt Ryan is a coach killer. That's foolish. That's foolish to say.
It is, but one is a Ring of Honor guy. And that makes you all of very good. And one of these guys is.
You just said he's not a good quarterback, though. You said you just said at the beginning of this he wasn't a good quarterback. You said he had one. Your words were he had one good year and he's not a good quarterback. Those were your words, and that's why I was like, are you for real?
I was being facetious. What I'm saying is, as a number one pick. And as the guy with all this pomp and circumstance, he ended up being pretty good.
How many number one pick quarterbacks actually end up being better than Cam? It's not many. Number one picks, not many. You could probably say what, Peyton Manning?
Oh yeah.
Who else was a number one pick? Nope.
Stafford.
He didn't have a nope.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. NFL draft. Every quarterback that's went
number one
since 1967. Terry Bradshaw. Better.
Let's go modern. Let's go modern football. Go modern. If you don't go from 1950, then and it's still gonna be less than half. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be less than half, even if you did it that way. But you can keep going.
Let's see. Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Right now, he's had a better career than Cam so far. Well, no, he hasn't. He hasn't. We don't know. He hasn't had a better career than Cam yet.
No. To be determined. But let me ask you a question.
We'll see.
Who do you force?
We'll see. Because if you would have asked me at this point in Cam Newton's career, his shoulder didn't fall off yet. So I would have said Cam Newton is on his way.
I ain't gonna lie. We had some stinkers now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Tim Couch, or you can keep going now.
These are people who I hate. Kyler Murray, Baker, Jared Goff.
Ooh.
Might be. He's a way to be good now.
Keep going. I didn't even have to look up no stats for that one. Keep going. Keep going. You get Jared Goff. Andrew Luck got him. I'd actually probably say they're about even because Andrew Luck quit the same time that Cam
Bradford.
Get out of there. So you haven't named one yet.
Matt Stafford better with Jamarcus Russell. God no.
You think Matt Stafford has? Okay.
Yeah.
He won Super Bowl. Yeah.
Alex Smith.
Oof.
Eli.
Now that is somebody who benefited from a defense.
Oh yeah. Carson Palmer or Cam Newton?
I would say Cam because Cam was the total team.
Wait till you get to the next one. David Carr.
Jeez. So, as I said, you was like to be a number one pick.
No, we're not here.
Keep going.
Next one.
Who?
Michael Vick. Yo, this is number one at quarterback. Number one, let me go ahead and say this. Number one quarterback is completely arbitrary. That told me nothing. You could be damn near the GOAT. You could be a flaming bag of garbage. It don't matter.
You find out you disproved it. You disproved your point, and I ain't even have to say nothing. Just look up the list of number one quarterbacks.
It's literally up and down, up and down, up and down. Next one, you literally go Tim Couch, Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Then you go to Drew Bledsoe.
He wasn't the number 1 pick, was he?
Yep.
Oh, that draft must have been awful.
Jeff George. He was probably better than Cam.
He just played longer. He wasn't better.
Troy.
Aikman?
This thing is, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, you got to say Troy just because he was on one of the greatest dynasties of all time. So you got to say yes.
With help. He's an asterisk. I mean,
With the help. What do you mean he had the help? He had the greatest offensive line of all time. With the greatest running back of all time. With the top 2 receiver of all time. With the top 5
He
tight
did
end.
not have the greatest running back. He had a great running back. He had a great wide receiver, a great tight end, a great head coach, a great defensive line. He had Deion Sanders.
And a
He
great
had
defense.
Ken Norton. Yeah. Vinny Testaverde.
Nope.
Woo.
Mm-mm. I'm telling
Nope,
you,
he only made it
Cam
far as
before
AFC
his shoulder
championship.
fell off, Cam first 5 years was like crazy. He was averaging like 3,500 yards with one receiver. It's
John
then when they
Elway?
started losing. Yeah, John Elway, yeah. So we had 2.
Steve Bartowski. Yeah, this
For the Falcons?
I mean, you. Yeah.
See, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm a Falcons fan. I ain't went back and watched now Steve Bartkowski film.
2 Pro Bowl seasons in 80-81. NFC divisional round, career backup. That I will tell you. Steve Bartkowski is the guy who I don't know anything about.
Me neither.
Chris Chandler, Jeff George, all the rest of them. I don't know. I wasn't born yet, number 1.
Wasn't even here.
Don't
Wasn't
know
even
the
here.
answer. You start asking me Steve Bartkowski history, great throwback jersey. That's it. That's as
Great.
far as it goes.
The Red Falcon 10 is wild. It's a wild one.
Yep.
But
But
as
don't-
I was saying, but the point is,
Play
I
don't know how he played. I don't know what he was good at. Don't ask me where he went to college. I don't know. Sorry to this man.
all I know is he threw the ball to Billy White Shoes Johnson. That's all I know for 1 year. That's all because Billy White Shoes, because his the little celebration was in Tecmo Bowl when he did like this with the legs.
Yeah.
That was a celebration. Yeah.
Hoist the dude.
So that's all I know.
So after looking at this, he's a mediocre number 1.
Mediocre. He's one of the best number 1s of all time. You've only named 2 people better than him, Peyton Manning and Drew Bledsoe.
Wait, no, hell no. Eli Manning.
You think Eli?
Stafford, Andrew Luck.
I don't. What's Andrew Luck's stats? Because Andrew Luck quit. Cam Newton's first 5 years.
The kidney rupture. You can't, man. I didn't play football a long time. I don't know how you get kidney lacerations.
Kidney lacerations of the spleen. I'll be like, y'all. I don't know if Eli is a better. Chauncey Gardner-Wilson, he's out for the year with a lacerated spleen. I said, a spleen? Who? When Andrew Luck said I was pissing blood, I was like, y'all know he about to retire, right? When Andrew Luck said I'm pissing blood, he was like, oh man, I was pissing blood this morning. I'm like, he about to go play? Oh, y'all need to start searching for a quarterback now. 3 weeks later, hey, Jacoby Brissett, you are now the starting quarterback.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not many things that will really just break me down to emotional nothingness. That is at the top of the list. I'm crying. Emotional damage.
Hawks got beat by the Pacers. We didn't have Clint Capella. We didn't have any defense. Trae Young exited the game with a calf injury.
Peyton Manning,
You heard me?
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick had the potential to have a better, but a lot of these players had the potential to be better than Cam, but I'm telling you, Cam's first 5 or 6 years, he had like 4,000 yards, 3,800 yards, 3,500 yards, 3,800 yards, MVP, Super Bowl. So, like, he's a top 10. Well, I won't say 10 because then you get to the 70s when they actually valued quarterbacks, the white quarterbacks.
Well, the guys from the 70s ain't nobody but Terry Bradshaw. He's not better than Jim Plunkett, not better than, and then it's Steve Bartkowski and John Elway.
John Elway's in the 80s. So out of all the years of the NFL, you've named 6 players, 6 number 1 quarterbacks better than him that I've heard. Unless you're gonna go to like Bark Star.
No. Bradshaw, Plunkett, Elway, Aikman, Peyton. I'm
Sneaky
giving it
say
to Mike Vick.
I'm not.
Carson Palmer and him are
Mike Vick had Mike
considered.
Mike. That's funny that you said Dolphin. Mike Vick is a certain Mike Vick's career. Mike Vick's career. You said it, not me. Mike Vick's career.
National treasure, and Hampton needs him as a coach. Mike Vick, nothing but respect to you, dog. We would love to have you in the 757.
Mike Vick's
You do
career
that
is
anyway.
similar to Cam Newton's. Mike Vick played with. I mean, he went. You can't. I mean, like.
Which one? You got to pick one. Who you picking, Reggie? Who you picking, Reggie? We the realest podcast. We answer hard hitting questions. You got to pick one. Cam Newton or Michael Vick. Who you?
Mike
want
Vick's
right
first
now? Money.
5 years versus Cam Newton's first 5 years.
I don't care. I don't need to see nothing.
It's the same. It's the same. I mean, I'm picking you're picking the more dynamic player. You're picking Mike Vick. But I mean, it's not far off.
Ain't no slouch.
It's not far off. I mean, Mike Vick had Algie Crumpler and who Roddy White. Cam Newton had Steve Smith and Greg Olson.
Greg Olson, very good player.
What I'm saying is they're very comparable. They both had really good first contract years. Them first 4 years where you trying to get that payday. Then they got paid. Mike Vick went to prison. Cam Newton arm fell off. And of course then he was front running. He became a big baby. But
that is okay, and that's also where I kind of split. Michael Vick was just a better leader.
Was he?
Better? He's a better everything. Than Cam
was he?
Newton.
He shot birds to the media and told the fans, "Fuck you." Was he really a better leader?
I like a little bit of that now.
I mean, well, Cam did the same thing then. Cam was like, "Yo, we don't like you dancing in the end zone. Okay, stop me."
No. I didn't have an issue with Cam dancing in the end zone. I had an issue where every time the Cam started losing, he put a towel on his head and go sit.
And he started
down.
pouting. Yeah, he started
As a
pouting.
quarterback, can't do that. You can't do that as a QB.
That's what I'm saying at Jackson State, to bring it back, at Jackson State, for him to, if this happens, because we could be doing all this talking and he'd be like, nah, I was just down there visiting. But if this happens, he has to mature.
You think
Where else would he go? He'd have to go to high school. If this is the only other place that he'd have to go high school, nobody in their right mind would give him a job in college right now.
So why would Jackson State do it?
Pimping is real. What you mean?
I'm glad you talked yourself all the way to the end of the day. He said nobody in their right mind would do it.
Because pimping is real. But what I'm saying is, I didn't talk myself out of the point. Cam Newton will have to be mature enough to hold that position, because if he takes the job, he has something to prove, 100%. And if he's trying to get into coaching, this is the only way other than high school. And you know them high school kids don't like you no way. They be disrespecting him at his own camp. You remember that?
I forgot about that. See, you took bow, 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 bow.
Nah. But Cam does have a link to HBCUs though. His dad went to HBCU. His brother played at Tennessee State. Cecil played at Tennessee State. Was starting center for 3 years. Ended up going to the league as well.
His little brother played at Howard.
Little brother played at Howard. Kalen played at Howard. So I mean, he has a strong link to HBCUs. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a quarterback that went to the Super Bowl and won an MVP. I'm at least gonna listen to him, see what he got to say. Can't hurt. I don't know why this chat isn't showing up.
I just feel like the majority of the things that made him a great quarterback are not the things that you can impart on other players.
What you mean?
I mean, I don't think he's the greatest decision maker. I think he's just a really good athlete. I will go to my grave saying that I don't understand how Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer and Cam Newton is not.
Can you say the same thing about Mike Vick though? He wasn't a great decision maker. He was just a world-class athlete.
the classiest. Even if I'm willing to say that because he's the classiest of athletes. He is the world.
Why? I mean, he just ran. I mean, Cam he ran a 4.2. Cam ran a 4.4. Cam 6'6". Mike Vick was 5'11", 6 feet. They both threw. Now Mike Vick threw the ball 75 yards. Cam threw the ball 70. Like,
but just Mike Vick used to make that shit.
Mike Vick was more dynamic. But Cam, I'm telling you, that's why I think people forget, when did JSU become part of the black head coach starter pack? When Deion went there? That's pretty much what they're gonna look at themselves as, which is what they can do.
Stadium. It's the stadium. Where can you get the most eyes in HBCU football? Jackson State.
Right now, yeah.
Does anybody else have a stadium that big?
No.
That, and I think that everybody, and which is one of my biggest gripes, is they act like Jackson State was just poverty and needed charity. They're third in the conference before Deion showed. Well, before he who shall not be named showed up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's tricky. Why is this not showing up is the question. Let's just refresh the chat. How about that? It's tricky. But with that being said, I really wanted to talk about this and just bring highlights, especially to Ed Reed getting his chance at Bethune-Cookman. If we can have one of our friends, AJ, said he hopes that this becomes a springboard for Ed Reed to go to a PWI school. If Ed Reed is up front and forthright and just says, we're going to be mutually beneficial, there's nothing you can say. Cool. That's what we're going to do. Because I still don't have a problem with that either. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either.
And in the whole conversation, I think that's one of the more frustrating parts, is it made HBCU seem like we were delusional about Deion staying there forever. Now, what AJ said, I don't necessarily want to speak that into existence. I want Ed Reed to do whatever Ed Reed wants to do as a coach, and I hope that Bethune-Cookman allows him to do that. If he wants to be the guy who stays at Bethune-Cookman for 30 years and becomes a legendary coach for them, then do that. If he wants to take this opportunity and stay 4 or 5 years, cement his legacy, and then move on, hey, Miami, you got to be looking at yourself.
I mean, at the end of the day, this would be a great move for Ed, because Miami again is in. They're in flux. They fired Mariano. No, that's the closer. They fired the coach. They fired the coach and hired Mario Cristobal from Oregon. Lured him away from Oregon because he's a Hurricane alum. He brought Ed Reed on staff. If Ed Reed goes and does really well at Bethune-Cookman, and they offer him the job at Miami, he has to go. You have to go to Miami. You have to. That's your alma mater. You have a statue. I think he has a statue there or like a shrine at Miami. His jersey's retired. He's regarded as one of the top 5 Miami Hurricanes of all time, which is difficult to do. You got to do it.
Ain't no joke either.
But you have to. What you have to do and what you have to say is, you have to be able to build the pipeline. Build the pipeline and bring the black coaches. Don't gut us like he who shall not be named did, but build the pipeline of black coaches. Build the pipeline for players, and just be transparent. Don't sell us. You don't need to sell us. We've been sold.
Yeah.
That was a word.
We're not sold. We believe in. There's no need for a buy. That is the reason we have you guys, is we want to cut down on the buy and sell. We want to be able for our athletes to go to a school and not be taken advantage of and discarded like many PWIs will do. That was the overarching big issue with the guy before. It's not that what you did, is that you told us you would not mislead us, you would not abuse our trust, and then you immediately did that. And you
Yeah,
made it
just
harder
don't sell
for
us a
Ed.
dream. Yeah, you made it harder for Ed. You're gonna make it harder for anybody else that wants to come back. Now, I mean, he did lay a blueprint that other people are starting to follow with the whole social media, getting sponsors, getting money. All these HBCUs are doing it. But
And
we're not gonna keep
that's-
talking about
that's
you anyway.
great, but
You know, we're not gonna step on the
keep
lead
it
of
real.
Ed Reed, stand-up guy, getting his shot as a head coach and helping the culture as well. With that being said, hey folks, we gonna fix a drink. Again, I told y'all I'm off all week, so
I'm not.
I decided that I might as well go ahead and have a drink because I'm not gonna really be able to do it after this. Once work start back. So
That boy enjoying the holiday. Okay.
yeah,
Holiday
grandma
season.
grandma gave me the giant pot of mom and grandma gave me the giant pot of gumbo. We done put it in some bags to freeze it.
I'm hating.
Yeah, you should. Got peach cobbler
Awesome.
cheesecake.
Just paid Sean Murphy 6 years, 73 million. Bravos.
Who? Who's
I know somebody. Newly acquired Oakland Athletics catcher.
Oh well, yeah. We let William Contreras go. 6 years. How much?
73.
Oh, that's not bad. I thought you said 173. I was like, now if I'm Acuna and Albies, I'm out of there. You need to trade me right now.
Check please. Check please.
I'm gonna stay in Venezuela. That's where I'm about to stay. Venezuela is where I'm going to stay. Hell no. I'm like, damn, boy. I'd be marching. You be mad at me. Everybody in the world be mad at me. You get paid $70 million and you marching in front of Braves Stadium. You damn right. They paying this person over here 173. Okay. Woo! I'd have been like the Braves about to implode.
Somehow, Ronald Acuna is not our highest paid player, and that just do not sit right.
And he's probably gonna leave after his contract is up. He'll be 28, 27, 28 when his contract's up. That sounds like 400 mil to me.
Break a bag, and you got Albies right there. Right there.
You gotta maximize what you got. But look, y'all, we'll be right back in about 1 or 2 minutes. Basketball segment coming up. You know, y'all talk about the Hawks. We lost.
Oops.
We got Hoops gonna talk about these Christmas Day games. Warriors Grizz. Old man took the young man to the woodshed. Suns Nuggets, Lakers Mavs, and Wally Zerbiak is speaking as if he is a Hall of Famer, and that boy is a T-shirt All-American. Like, there is no way possible that he should be talking about some of these players in today's game. And
No, it's one player. It's one player, and you have no business. Yeah. Wally, he's better than you, and he's going to be better.
right now, he's better than you. Just what did Travis Hunter say to the Florida State DB? Florida State DB said, "We don't need no Travis Hunter down here. They got me." And when he signed with Florida State, Travis Hunter responded and said, "Man, they would take me over you right now. If I said I wanted to come to Florida State, they would give me your scholarship."
Hey, take his helmet. Him. Get his helmet. Get his shoulder pads. I want his. And they would have been like, "Sir,
Have you heard of FAMU?
get that."
Have you heard of FAMU? Have you gone across the tracks to FAMU?
No. Have you heard of fuck you? That's where you can go.
All right, y'all. We'll be back in 2 minutes, man. Y'all stay safe. About to turn on Splashcast 12 pack.
24.
24.
Acoustic.
Cruise through the nighttime with my hoodie up. Baby, I'm a night rider, I'm pulling up. Things look pretty on your side. Shit gets gritty on my side.
Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our final segment of episode 83 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. Monday Night Raw continued on Tuesday. Got a few things we're going to talk about today, man. Did you watch any of those Christmas Day games?
Absolutely. This is my first adult holiday where I think I was here by myself the whole time. No worries. I was not lonely. 36-year-old man, sometimes you just need rest. And I was blessed with rest for the holiday. Oh, beverages. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, beverages.
And if you got them, drink them.
So, before we get into the Christmas Day games, let's talk about these Hawks real quick. I don't know what the issue is with health, but the Hawks cannot stay healthy as a team at all. It's not even load management sits. It's like something is hurt all the time with the Hawks.
Lower extremity hurt too.
Ankle, calf. Trey just got hurt tonight. Ankle, calf, or DeAndre Hunter be like wrist, elbow, knee. It's just something. It's like it's aches and pains, and it's always something. We can't play it together. When we play together with our 10-man rotation, we're actually pretty good. We just don't never play together.
I don't think they like playing with each other. Pause if needed. There's very rarely where we look like we're having fun and playing basketball for 48 minutes. Don't matter how good you are if you don't enjoy playing basketball together. That's what it looks like to me.
But before we get there, hey NBA, why y'all picking on Boosie? Boosie is the unofficial mascot of the Atlanta Hawks. Some don't like it, some do. It is what it is. Whether you feel some type of way about him.
We at the Splashcast support Boosie.
Well,
yes,
we support Boosie going to the Hawks games. We don't always support all his decisions.
I support Boosie.
But
no, I don't support all of your decisions. But hell, you my boy.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is, like, you know, Boosie shouldn't be out of all the people that talk to the players. Like, there's so many people that players get kicked out the game, be saying all this wild stuff. Boosie just be out there dapping everybody up. They give him a hug. Him and 2 Chainz are like really the unofficial mascots of the Falcons. Of the Hawks. They are our hip hop representatives on Gucci Row. Yeah. And he said, "Nah, we can't interact. We can no longer talk to NBA players at the Hawks games. Only Boosie, nobody else. Only Boosie."
Boosie does get an unreasonable amount of just in general policing. I don't know why that is. I mean, I do know.
You know why? He's not liked.
I wish people would leave him alone. And as a person who watches all of these games, these guys love Boosie. Yeah, I'm not.
It's funny to me. I mean, he makes watching the game even better. Like, I mean, no shade. I'm not Greek. But him wearing that Kappa shirt was hilarious. To the Hawks game.
That was fantastic.
I know you did. I know you did. But that was hilarious to me. That was hilarious. Like, he just, and at this point, he's at a point in his life where he don't even be talking about all that foolishness he used to do in Baton Rouge now. He just be out there with his kids. He be at Walmart, like with his kids, like chilling.
And that, for me, we already don't have the most, full-fledged fandom. I guess that's the nicest way to say it.
Atlanta's a transient city. You got a whole bunch of people that move here. In basketball, you definitely ain't got to be they're more fans of players.
And the Hawks, Jesus, you got to think about where they rank in the status of Georgia teams. It's maybe 4th.
Nah, I'd say it's 3rd. It depends on how good they are.
Well,
fair weather.
You're not accounting for one team. UGA is the lead team in Georgia. Let's make that
that's number 1. I am accounting for them. That is number 1.
Yes. Braves number 2.
1B.
No.
1A, 1B. 1A, 1B. I think the Braves.
Okay.
Because the Braves
they
literally have all of the Southeast. Like, all of the Southeast. So, but yeah, I see what you're saying. They're the top two by far. It's not even close.
Yeah. And then probably the Falcons, and then probably the Hawks, and then
Georgia
the
Southern.
United. Probably right. No. Then winning United is not far off from the Atlanta Hawks.
I don't know, man. I think Georgia Southern, Georgia Tech is like career. Georgia Southern had a lot of, especially when Paul Johnson was there, and shortly after, they had a lot of following.
Because everybody knows a bunch of people who went to Georgia Southern. Everybody who you went to high school with, at least 3 or 4 of them people went to Georgia Southern.
And they won a national and if we're our age, they won a national championship.
And they used to be kicking it. And sidebar, if you lived in Georgia during that time period, I don't care what you say. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Ain't no difference between Statesboro High School and Georgia Southern football. I don't care what you say.
They get
Same
the old
jersey,
uniforms.
same players.
Same color. Aren't they the Eagles? Statesboro High School Eagles? What you mean?
And they used to be like, we running right. And I have to go over there and try to tackle a dude that looked like a refrigerator when I got over there.
See, that's the disadvantage you had of playing at a smaller school where you play wide receiver and defensive end. Like, that ain't happened at our school. You played like DB and defensive end, or linebacker and running back, or safety and running back. Like,
well, I was never playing running back because that is not fun. And
not in the 2000s, it ain't.
I'm black, and I played quarterback for about 2 weeks, and then I figured out the baseball players get that job. So me and my best friend left. He went to running back, and I went to wide receiver.
No, we had a bunch of athletes, just freakish athletes. But anyway,
we used to play teams like y'all and beat y'all because y'all have no organization. I ain't gonna say y'all specifically.
Say you ain't beat us.
Beat Butler High School. When
Don't know who Butler is.
Ben Troop and Isaac West, and they had one more guy. They were all good, and we should not have. No way. Only thing we should have beat them in is SAT scores.
No, every team we lost to, we should have lost to. Like, we lost to every team that we lost to had like an NFL player on their team, like at least 2. Every single time, we'd be like, "Damn, you played Troop County? Yeah, we played the syrup makers. Came out there that, hey, these 4 players are going to SE. Cairo County syrup makers. Hey, I was like, the syrup makers, they soft. I was like, man, they DB was 6'4", 225.
Cairo. And if you say Cairo, Georgia, they gonna know you not from around there, my big dog.
Yeah, you have a bullet. You gonna have a bullseye on your chest.
He said Cairo. No, this Cairo.
That's like if you say Houston, Georgia. You say Houston.
Oh yeah.
Make a right down here. Make a right over here.
Get him.
Houston. If you see Houston, Houston, Georgia. Houston County.
My mama fixed me real quick. I said, "Mom, that's Houston." Son, that is Houston. You better say it right.
Now you're right, Sneaky. In high school, we did play. I mean, we played Kendrick Golston and J.R. Lemon at Sandy Creek, and Kendrick Golston was the only player I've ever seen play nose tackle, running back, fullback, safety, and linebacker. That's the only time I've ever seen that ever in my life.
Wait, play what?
Nose tackle, defensive end, fullback, running back, safety, and linebacker.
Oh,
and tight end.
Jasper and Casper Brinkley could have probably did that. They played at Thompson.
Oh yeah, they were not fun to play against.
No, and then first of all, they were on kickoff.
Let me go and take Boosie off. We're full reminiscing right now.
So they had your real speed demons in the back, right? You're like, okay, definitely don't kick to those guys. So you kick to the dudes who look like linebackers or linemen. That was a terrible idea.
You know who was not fun to play against, and he wasn't even like he was 2 years younger than us. Eric Berry. Eric Berry used to hit people so hard. He hit Pac-Man so hard one time as a freshman. He hit Pac-Man so hard. I was like, oh my God. Eric Berry, Creekside. He hit Pac-Man so hard, dog. He played so well at Creekside at Tennessee that they gave his twin brothers scholarships off the strength of their name.
Oh, that's where I lost my only high school playoff game.
At the swamp,
Swamp.
walking down them steps, and
Boy,
the boys just sit
and
they
Russ-
sitting there on the hill waiting on you to come here.
Yo, Russ might be on the stream tonight. Man, they kicked that ball to Russ. Russ took off. I don't know if he scored on that opening kickoff or he just got maybe 70, 80 yards. We thought we was finna whoop their ass. That was the end of the game for us. I thought I was like, oh, we finna whoop their ass. And then they had a white dude out there with a grill and a Versace shirt on. I was like,
Yeah, Big Jason. Big Jason was out there with the grill. He married. Well, he married a black woman. Like he was a middle linebacker too. Big old number 3. I know exactly who you talking about.
And nope, it was. My teammates had never seen a guy like that before.
Out there in the middle of the woods with Bubba Sparks, whooping your ass, boy.
Yep, destroying you.
Oh man, let's get back on track because we reminiscing. That is true. Creekside.
Material. I don't care what y'all say. This is the reason we do this.
Creekside. I remember we beat them. I was so happy we beat them on homecoming. But back to the Hawks, man. So there has been. You said that they don't.
Back to Augusta for us.
On them hard ass seats of the school. Niggas crying because they can't play no boy.
2 hours back. Ain't nothing like getting your ass whooped. Get you a couple McDonald's hamburgers. Get on their bus and ride back. Cold and hurt.
And they band turning up on y'all and everything. But back to the Hawks, man. You said that they don't like playing with each other.
Bumblebee too.
They said that. So there's been Kevin O'Connor says that Trae Young has no willingness to excel off the ball. There have been multiple reports saying that Trae Young has complained about teammates, had a tiff with Nate. All this off the court stuff. Well, I guess Rayford, the second or the junior, had a problem and got sick of all this and said, "This is what sucks about pro ball these days. Although I like Kevin's stuff, now there'll be articles on Trae like this. Just because rival execs believe something, Trae doesn't talk to other teams. He's busy trying to win in Atlanta. Will this ever end?" I actually do. I get what he's saying. Like y'all are out here making articles saying about speculation. Like you're saying rival execs believe that I'm going to leave, right? Because you see frustration and you see all this stuff this year. But I never said that. I never did anything like that. I'm just trying to win. So I see what his dad is saying. But with that being said, where there is smoke, there is fire. And there's been a lot of smoke this year.
I read the article written by Chris Haynes. I didn't listen to Chris Haynes explain and clarify this article. He said, because they just had the G League meetings or whatever they had, it's like a showcase in Vegas. They had it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That is the last time that all of those players will be together. This is the last time that you'll have basically all of the leadership for these different teams together. I think because if I'm incorrect here, please correct me. But All-Star is after the trade deadline. So this will be the last time that all of these different people will be together. So during the time that all of these executives, front office people were together, he talked to all of them. And they told him that out of all the people who could ask out, the people who he talked to said that it would probably be Trae Young will be the next guy up. He's very clear about exactly what he said. He wrote it the same way. Then he had a Twitter space, whatever you want to call those things, and explained it in detail.
Yeah. I just
Hold on, one more thing. And I hate to say it, you got a Supermax for this reason. When you get the money, you get the questions. You didn't want the questions, don't take the money.
I don't know about that.
It's the same thing with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown before they started winning last year.
Man.
It's the same exact thing.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Yeah, they were close to getting blown up. Did you see the trade offer that they offered the Jazz? What was it for? It was John Collins, Jalen Johnson for Lauri Markkanen and Jared Vanderbilt. And the Jazz were like, no, the Jazz were cool with it if the Hawks had thrown in a first round pick. And I was like, we don't have any.
I read, they're not moving Lauri. And
now I don't know how long ago that proposal was given.
From everything that I've read, because I've been very into the Lauri Markkanen resurgence, whatever you want to call it, they're not moving him. And I will also assume that as good as Walker Kessler plays, they're not moving him either.
Walker Kessler, he can touch the rim without jumping.
He has stepped into the Rudy Gobert role and is doing it with flying colors. Well, let me tell you one thing, Atlanta Hawks. If you trade John Collins to the Utah Jazz with Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen, you will regret that.
I don't think. No. The only trade proposal that I saw to the Jazz involved Lauri Markkanen, and
I saw one with just Jared Vanderbilt.
I mean, if you're dead set on trading John Collins, I don't know if you get somebody willing to come to Atlanta that could fit Atlanta better than Jared Vanderbilt. I mean, he plays defense.
Jared Vanderbilt went to the Suns. We got Crowder and a guy.
I do not want Crowder. I don't want a 6'5" power forward. We already got a 6'8" backup center.
If you're gonna put him, if you're not gonna play him like you played John Collins tonight, then you might as well get Crowder. Stick him in the corner and let him be a dead eye. I don't like it because I think you're losing out on a very good asset, and you're the cornerstone and the guy who has the best attitude on the team. But if you're gonna continue to play stupid man basketball, then yeah, double down on stupid man basketball, stick him in the corner and let him shoot them threes. He's gonna be a better corner 3-point shooter than John Collins.
Maybe this year. I mean, they're comparable. John shot 40% for three for the last 3 years.
Yeah, but I think that he's going to shoot a higher volume and still shoot around the same thing. Whereas John was probably shooting 3, I bet you could probably get him to shoot 6. But all the rest of it, the rebounds, the backside rim protection, toast.
You know what's crazy?
Play real defense in.
You know what's frustrating with John? They had to use him tonight against the Pacers. So the Hawks lost to the Pacers. We didn't have Clint Capella. We didn't have DeAndre Hunter. We basically did not have a front court, but John Collins, Jalen Johnson, and Yeko Okongwu. Okongwu is still a backup center. But he didn't play bad at all. John Collins had 26 points, 10 rebounds.
Okongwu is a lifetime backup center.
John Collins had 26 points, 10 rebounds, and a block, while going 3 for 6 from 3 and 11 from 17 from the field. We just didn't have any production from the bench. And if you want me to be honest, I don't know what's going on with DeJounte Murray. But even when DeJounte Murray would have bad games and have a bad stretch at the beginning of the season, he still controlled the game. Largely tonight, DeJounte was like, he was a ghost out there.
It's something in that locker. I'm telling you, it's a bunch of weird stuff going on. Travis just stepped down. They just, they didn't really lift Landry Fields to the president of basketball operations, but he's the top of basketball right now on the court stuff. And something there ain't sitting right with everybody. And you can see it in the players. Nobody looks I say all the time, look at how the Grizzlies stick together. They love to play for Ja. They like to play for each other. Hawks just be out there shooting. The only time we excited is when AJ Griffin hits a game winner.
Yep. So I mean, we're 17-17 right now. We are the number 8 seed because we just lost to to the Pacers. And now we play Brooklyn at home, the Lakers at home, Golden State on the road, Sacramento on the road, the Lakers on the road, the Clippers on the road.
We can beat them.
So, like, we're basically on the road for the majority of December. I mean, majority of January.
I think this is honestly good. You're going to figure out who this team is in the next, I'd say, 2 weeks.
I don't think it's good. I think somebody's gonna get relieved of duties. I don't know. They've already did Travis Schlenk. Either they're gonna trade John Collins, or they're gonna fire Nate, or something. Somebody's gonna get moved.
I don't think that I think that John Collins has to be the guy because you can't.
They already committed.
Because if you fire Nate, they said they weren't gonna fire Nate already. Number one, and if you fire Nate, it does look like Trey owns this team and you don't have control of this team.
Boy, we got a hell of a schedule in January. Jesus. We've lost to all of these teams.
But a lot of those teams are hurt. Golden State, injured. Lakers, no AD.
January, we play Portland, Clippers, OKC, Chicago, New York Knicks, Dallas Mavericks, Charlotte Hornets, Heat, Raptors, Pacers, Lakers, Clippers, Kings, Warriors, Nets, Lakers.
I don't ever think that, for the most part, other than, and at some point we have to talk about the Nets, the ability to just say we're good now and actually be good. You have to give Kevin Durant a ton of credit. And I was the same person who said he shouldn't have let James Harden get run off by Kyrie, and I still agree with that. But boy, when he said we're done being bad and now we're a good basketball team, they're a good basketball team now, period.
Yeah, they are. Oklahoma State and Wisconsin, that game's on. That ain't bad. They are a good team, man. So we needed to win this game against the Pacers. We have to beat the Lakers. I'm going to go ahead and say the Nets. I think we rested these players today to play the Nets.
Which I don't understand to me.
The Nets and the Lakers, I would have preferred to rest them against the Nets and then play the Lakers. But hopefully this game got John Collins off the schneid. Because, I mean, Trey actually had a decent game too. I mean, not shooting-wise. He was only 5 of 15, but he had 22 and 10.
But think about how many possessions that is. That's a lot of possessions. How many free throws did he shoot?
10. Okay,
so he shot 10 free throws, and he went 5 of 16. So really,
that's 5 more possessions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you add 5 to his 16, that's 21 possessions. He made 5 buckets. That's 21 shots, and he had 22 points.
I will say, with what I saw tonight, and what I've noticed is when we don't have Capella, it was free run to the bucket. We don't have. I mean, Okongwu is good for what he is, but he still has to learn. Him and John have to learn how to not foul. John fouled out again. You have to know how to not hack, and you have to be able to keep the ball high when they feed you the post. But even with the free run, the rebounding was just awful. And Capella is like, well, y'all got to keep me. You can't trade me.
Well, I mean, Collins got his 10. You can't really ask for him to get any more. And Okongwu got 7, and Jalen got 7. But the rest of you guys got to rebound better. Trey, the whole reason we got DeJounte was, you remember when they told us, well, DeJounte's there, so we'll be able to alleviate Trey's time handling the ball because he was running out of gas. Now he'll be able to play better defense. Is Trey's defense any better than any other season?
The effort. I think the biggest thing with his defense, besides that he could control, was effort. And I think his effort is there. I mean, we're not a bad defensive team. We just can't. For some reason, over the past 3 years, outside of the bubble year when we went to the Eastern Conference Finals, we can't stay healthy. I'm sorry, not the bubble year. That was the year after that. We can't stay healthy. The Hawks have I don't have the exact numbers, but I wouldn't be surprised if they only stayed healthy less than 50% of the time. I don't.
It was 33 games in before we got the guys who we paid for to see them all at the same time. We've been hurt for seasons now.
And I just, it's
Seasons.
so frustrating. And I mean, that's part of the game, right? Durability is part of the game. Durability is part of the game. So our past 3 games, we beat the Magic. Trae Young feasts on the Magic every time. No matter how many 11-foot players you got, your guards still are trash when it comes to guarding Trae Young.
Well, it's the fact that they really don't play a small, especially with Cole Anthony being hurt. And
Cole
I don't
Anthony
know what
played.
happened.
They bring Cole Anthony. Suggs is hurt. They bring Cole Anthony off the bench. They started Fultz.
Yeah. So So Fultz is their only really guy who should be in the backcourt at all. Everybody else is really a front court player, just masquerading as a backcourt player. And as good as those guys are individually, you just can't keep up with the last fast Trae. Just can't.
He be
not
going
fair.
right on around. He go right around him every time.
The lateral movement, I don't care what type of defender you are. When he goes right and then goes left, your leg has not hit the ground yet. Gone.
And so Trae was cooking.
That is, if he ever decided to become pass first, he is the NBA MVP.
Every year, he's Steve Nash on steroids. Like, and the thing about the Hawks, right? When Trae goes off like this, the Hawks don't ever play a full 4 quarters of defense. But we played the second and fourth quarter defense this game, and Trae was going off, and we played defense, and of course, AJ is out there trying to score. AJ Griffin. Wow, I didn't see that happen. Okay, Oklahoma State just had an 84-yard touchdown off a bubble screen. Who are they playing? But we played defense really well. I mean, even this Pacers game, we lost by 15. We really lost because we weren't hitting shots. We actually held them up. And then, they just went on. Buddy Hield had the game of the first quarter of the half for him.
You can't let Buddy outplay you like that. Number one. And this is another game where I think Trae had 8 assists in the first half, ended up with 10.
Well, yeah. Well, so all of his assists were going to John Collins, and then John Collins got in foul trouble. So once John Collins got in foul trouble, nobody else was making shots. Bogey was getting texts and all of that. That was it. So we also played the Bulls. We lost to the Bulls again, rebounding.
Stop playing them Holiday, especially Big Holiday. Big Holiday needs to go on a long holiday. Send him home, bro.
Yeah, I would play Culver over Big Holiday, honestly, because Culver's better defensively.
And Culver didn't get a minute tonight. He not even out there. He might not even dressed.
So then that brings up the monkey in the room, the elephant in the room. Sorry.
Yeah.
At what point do you look at Nate and say, "Okay, Nate, what are you trying to accomplish with some of these rotations?" Because
because it looks.
It's obvious.
You're right now.
It's obvious that Nate plays favorites, right? Like he's playing favorites to the Holiday brothers. He trusts Aaron Holiday. I can see it. Aaron Holiday has, to me, proven that he deserves to be in the rotation just because he's the only one that plays defense 94 feet the whole time he's in the game. He'll never be at half court.
Which is odd to me. Like, how do you decide that you're gonna play a different defense than we've been playing that everybody else plays?
Well, that tells me that's why they signed him. But you have AJ Griffin who's shooting 40-something%.
Hey, you follow him wherever he goes. That's your job.
That's like an Alvarado type player.
Don't worry about the play, son. You got him.
Now, the only thing with Aaron Holiday is he gets beside himself and be like, all right, I done played defense for 30 minutes. I'm going to take a shot. But it'd be like at the most inopportune time. But, like, you have AJ Griffin, right? You have Bogey off the bench. You have Aaron Holiday who can hit an open jump shot. I really don't see the point of playing Justin Holiday. I would much rather play Jared Culver
Over. He plays
or
active.
or anybody else that is just gets in the way. Like Culver plays defense. Culver rebounds the ball well. He's not the best shooter, but he's one of the few players on the Hawks that actually pump fakes and goes to the rim and gets fouled. Like
Dear Hawks players. The pump fake, you guys have it. You guys shoot so many different shots that anytime that you pump fake, they're going for it. They don't never not go for it. Me and Reggie, every time we see, oh, pump fake worked. Every time. There's never a time where they be like, oh, no, you got me. No. Every time you pump fake, they fly over. Trey hit him with one today, step to the side, shot the three, made it. If I'm Nate, I'm making everybody pump fake. Period.
Yep. So we spent a long time on the Hawks, but the Hawks, they got some soul searching to do. And we'll find, like you said, we'll find out who this team is. They're playing Wisconsin. We'll find out who this team is. He about to run that back. Yep. You ain't gonna catch him out of there. Oh, the Hawks. We gonna find out who this Hawks team is in the next 2 weeks. By the end of January, I expect either we on a really long winning streak. We've made headway going from 7th place to like 5th, 4th, or 3rd, or John Collins is traded by the end of January. Those are the opposite ends of the spectrum to me, and I don't expect for us to be in the middle.
Surprisingly, I think that this might not have been the best move for John Collins. You right?
Yeah, just took a shot.
There was dismay written all over your face. But I think tonight John Collins showed that, hey, if you give him a fair amount of shots, you give him 16 shots, I think this is what you will get from John Collins on a regular night. And
we'll see.
But how many nights does he get 16 shots?
None. They run plays for Capella more than John Collins. They let Jalen bring the ball up.
Yes, Jalen definitely needs to bring the ball up.
All right, let's get to the rest of the league so we can get out of here. Christmas Day started off with a tweet from Patrick Beverley. Funny how life works. Just finished Christmas Eve dinner with Russell Westbrook. Everyone knows families fight during the holidays. Just hope it didn't turn into this. Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook have come a long way. I mean, they've always maintained that it was just on the court beef. They've never said that it was off the court beef. Now, well, I'll say Patrick Beverley has never said it's off the court beef. Russell Westbrook has never said anything.
Yes, he did. He said Pat Beverley trick y'all, man.
Pat Beverley trick y'all.
So, and no, let's be very honest. This was beef. Pat Beverley went at Westbrook.
Made him tore his meniscus.
Yeah, and that is what it is. I can understand both parties. Patrick Beverley is a guy who is not the most skilled basketball player. We still haven't really found out what he does very well, but he finds a way to be on a team, and the majority of the teams he plays for, they at least play tough the whole game. And I respect that. He's invested $1 million of his own dollars just to keep himself in the league. And for a guy who's not really good at anything, he's made a hell of a basketball career.
Yeah.
And I assume and will probably be an excellent coach someday if he wants to do it, because he's a guy who didn't
maybe on the staff. Maybe on the staff. I don't know. I don't know if he got the temperament to be a coach.
Whatever it is, he knows how to stay in the NBA. He can't shoot. He ain't the best dribbler. He ain't a great rebounder. He's not a great passer.
He's a good defender,
though. He was good defensively for a couple years, but overall, his thing is hard work and enthusiasm.
Yep.
And for me, it's frustrating because they report on this type of stuff. It's two black guys fighting it out, going at it, beef, yada, yada, yada. It's all just smoke. when you have these two black men who are together on a holiday, who've been through a lot against each other and have mended this fence, it's been an excellent thing to talk about. But did anybody take the time to do that? Hell no. You see ESPN write anything about that?
Nope. That's why you got social media. That's why we here. Realest podcast in the world. We highlight when black men do
But that
positive
is
things.
immensely frustrating to me that you will report all of the trash. You'll report all of the mess. But at the point where people start doing anything positive, you disappear. Same thing with Kyrie. Bullshit.
Yeah. Yes. They still ain't talked about Kyrie. Hey, you know how football is a game of inches? Pause. I'm watching this Oklahoma State versus. I'm watching this. I said football is a game of inches. I'm watching Oklahoma State versus Wisconsin. The Wisconsin received the kickoff, and Buddy got tackled at the 50-yard line as he was running it back by a shoestring. Otherwise, if he would have kept his balance, it would have been a touchdown. 3 plays later, they punt. 84 yards later, Oklahoma State is up 7-3.
But
let's get
you fast.
Let's get to the rest of this basketball segment, man. It was the game of the day obviously was Warriors Grizzlies. This is a budding rivalry. As you can see, the Warriors won the game with no Steph, no Wiggins.
Budding? This thing is crockpot, full cook, baby. They do not like each other.
Well,
and when I say that's
different. Go ahead.
There's a healthy game disrespect, but Ja and Draymond like each other. I think they've done a holiday together too.
That's the only two, because Clay and Dylan Brooks do not like each other.
I love Clay because Clay don't like anybody. He just don't talk a whole lot.
No, he talks a lot till you piss him off. But this was the Grizzlies going off before the game, and this is why I say budding rivalry and not crockpot cooking. You got to win for it to be a rivalry. That's from the old ball coach.
That very clear.
That is from the old ball coach himself when he was talking about UGA. Like, hey, y'all say this a rivalry? We ain't lost. Like, that's what he used to say all the time. He won like 26 out of 29 or 15 out of 18.
Steven is the consummate asshole. You got to beat me before you would talk to me directly. You know that, right?
And that is how Clay is feeling. And Dylan Brooks says, I can't wait to guard Clay. Ja Morant has sent subliminals before the game saying, I don't have nobody to fear in the West. The only team that's competitive against me is going to be the Boston Celtics in the East. He said, I'm good in the West. Mind you, they're not even number one. Like, and of course, now they didn't have Desmond Bain, but.
Bro, you better talk to Giannis before you get.
You better talk to everybody else in the West.
Ja, you my boy. You on I just started a new dynasty. You on my Hawks dynasty. You are not Giannis.
No Steph, no Wiggins. They win 123-109. The Warriors are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They can play out of this world in Golden State, but they lose on the road. And Dylan Brooks, you poked the bear.
And I think that they probably lose this game to probably everybody else, but not the Grizzlies. And I like Clay because Clay is only response driven. You don't.
Clay remembers. You like me. I like Clay because you remember everything that people say, and you respond. Yeah. He responded to stuff from 13 months ago.
He takes everything personally and just says, "I'm gonna fix you." And once we done here, I will let you know what you did to light this fire. But you can't talk to me. And Clay's a Hall of Famer. Clay is top 5 shooter of all time.
And the thing is with Golden State, they've got the type of game and offense that you really can't do nothing about it. Like, if they get hot, because this was a good game. It was a good game until Jordan Poole got hot, Clay got hot, Moses Moody started hitting, Kuminga started dunking on people, and Draymond was being a menace. And there was nothing you could do. Nothing you could do about it. When Clay got hot, he hit that shot over Dylan Brooks. I was like, oh, well, it's 13-point lead. Y'all saying, oh, it's still a game. I'm saying this game is over. When this happened right here, When this happened, I was like, gonna be a good game. When this happened, when they said this is how it ends, and he hit that 3 and did this walking down the court, I was like, oh, y'all go ahead and kiss that goodbye.
It is the classic Trae Young. You did not need to mess with these people. And you piss somebody off, and now you're going to get the best game out of there. And I hate to say, Grizzlies, you're going to get the best Warriors game every time you play them, even now and forevermore. So you might as well get used to it. Now,
Probably.
a sidebar, while we're looking at, like I told you, the Moran family, Draymond, they clearly are very super cool. It's just smoke on the court. Number one, I love this. Number two, I do think this is Draymond's last year in Golden State. The more that I see it, it looks like this is the end.
Yeah, they're definitely adding in Kuminga more and more and putting him in that Draymond role. He's just a more athletic Draymond. Now, what they do with Wiseman, I don't know.
Wiseman is flirting with bust. Now, the part that Draymond has, which may be his only saving grace, is Kuminga will never have the Draymond intangibles. And you can see that he has nights where he's really good. And he looks like a good basketball player. But Draymond, very similar to Patrick Beverly, is built on intangibles. These are not things that you can transfer. These are not things that you can learn. Either you got it when you wake up in the morning, or you don't. And Kuminga, great basketball player, excellent prospect coming up. Draymond is just a guy who knows how to play NBA basketball at a high level. Skilled, yes, he's a good facilitator, good defender, but Kuminga is just way more of all of that. But he don't have the killer that Draymond does.
I think the Warriors are getting to the point where they did the impossible for 1 year. They played for the future. They developed their players while keeping the veterans happy and won a championship. Most of the time, you can't do both. You can't develop young talent and appease the veterans and win a championship. You can't do those. Those don't normally mesh. They did the same thing.
Everybody's legs fall off at the same time you let the rookies play.
Those things, even when they came back, those things happened last year. But this year, I think you're starting to see, like, I'm not going to say Wiseman is a bust, because I think the Warriors kind of stunted his growth a little bit. I'll say I don't think he helped himself, but at some point, you got it by sending him down to the G League and back up. It's kind of the same thing the Hawks did with like Jalen Johnson and all that stuff. Like, keep him up there and let him learn how to play against NBA style bodies. He's supposed to be the big man. Let him play. We lament the Hawks all the time for sending Jalen Johnson and all of those rookies down there and second-year players down to the G League to play, and they averaging 30 and 20 and having all these stupid-ass G League numbers because they don't deserve to be down there. James Wiseman do the same thing. He be getting 20 points, 24 rebounds, 5 blocks, 7 assists, do stupid stuff like that. Well, keep him up there and let him learn how to play against some of these other players. The thing is, when you start off so bad, when you are so horrible on the road, you don't have time to develop anymore. Everybody else has figured out their role, and they still trying to figure out the role for James Wiseman because they didn't send Kuminga and Moody down. Moody wasn't that great.
No, it's Wiseman. It's Wiseman. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not sure. I have to go back and do my Google searches and researches to be 100% sure. But I don't know. I'm not sure about the Warriors' player development after Travis Schlenk left.
I don't think they didn't have to have player development. They've had the same team since then.
And now they're developing players again. And I want to say this. I don't think they've hit on any of those picks.
T. Morant got the whole carafe of liquor.
I think I believe that to be a white wine. That's what it looked like to me.
Got a whole carafe of white wine. Okay.
Yeah. You know who my son is, right? Are you gonna bring me a glass? Bottle, please. But yeah, Moody, I don't think he hit on that pick. I think that he could be a decent basketball player. Did not hit on that pick. Kuminga?
I think Moody's gonna be a really good rotational player.
Not a starter though. I don't see him being. Okay, right now today, Moses Moody or AJ Griffin?
I don't know.
Oh, AJ
Push.
Griffin about a mile and a half.
Push.
AJ Griffin is an NBA player today.
I think Moses Moody is too. Moses Moody can hit the 3-point shot and he plays defense. They have the same game. I think AJ Griffin gets more opportunity than Moses Moody. He is what?
But,
1, 2,
nah,
3,
but wait,
4, 5. He's 5th on shooting. 6th, maybe. I mean, on the team that has the 2 best shooters of all time. Like, I mean,
and what do you think AJ Griffin is on shooting on our team?
On our team, 4th. Maybe 5th.
Trey, Bogey,
Hunter,
DeJounte.
Hunter.
That's 4.
And he's 5th.
Colin.
Nope, we don't know. John Collins averaged 7 shots a game. 7 to 10.
No.
AJ Griffin be out there 4 of 15.
I know what I'm gonna do.
7 of 13. You be like,
hey, Nate, you think you finna take me out? I'm gonna shoot 50% from 3. You hold that. I know y'all don't think I keep doing this.
Sneaky agrees with you though. Sneaky says, I mean, Griffin is good. Sneaky.
I watch him make a ton of adult basketball plays.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this: out of the top 7 players on the Hawks, some of those guys he has a higher basketball IQ. He is very high basketball IQ.
He's coach's kid.
He does. Yes, and I think that does help because I've never seen him really make a bunch of stupid plays. And I'm talking about we got guys getting paid a ton of money. I've seen make way more consistent stupid plays than him.
Yep. So, of course, the Warriors ended up beating the Grizzlies. It's funny how the Grizzlies were complaining about trash talk, that the Warriors were talking too much trash and they muddied up the game. You are the reason that they trash talking. You started it. That's like, hey, he punched me in the face after you kicked him in the back. Like, see, that's triggering because that's how it was when I was the only black kid in elementary school and the little white boys fuck with me, and then I break their nose.
Let it out, dog. We talk about it.
Or whatever, and they be like, you need to go to therapy. No, I don't. He keep busting my lips, so I broke his nose. That ain't no problem.
Yeah, I told you I was gonna fix him, and I fixed him.
But let's get to the second game real quick, and we just gonna start right here. So, the Phoenix Suns played the Denver Nuggets, and it actually went to overtime. Nikola Jokic had the game. Oh my God! And they called a charge. I think it was overturned though. They ended up overturning this. He destroyed. Aaron Gordon dunked on Landry Shamet ridiculously, and they called a charge, but Aaron Gordon had jumped so far out that it can't be a charge.
Boy, you wasn't even stationary when I started jumping.
Look at that. You got to remember that he was an NBA dunk champion. Dunk contest champion.
Well, this is a terrible idea. Why would you do this to yourself? Landry, you already not a Sixer no more. Yeah.
Lord, he dunked on him, Lord, he dunked on him, Lord.
I can only prayers to his thoughts and prayers to Landry Shamet's mentions, to his personal text messages. I know all his friends probably text him like, dog, it's unbelievable.
So before this game even started, it was released that the Suns are being sold for $4 billion. Robert Sarver bought the Suns in 2004, just 18 years ago, for $401 million.
Did you see that missed interception by Wisconsin?
I've seen the missed interception, the drop touchdown. Yes. That's the new coach. You see they got the new coach out there first game. They brought him in from Cincinnati. You know, normally they don't go out there before the season over. He out there first game.
Looking comfortable too.
Yep.
For me, this is why we have a podcast. Nobody talks. They'll talk about that it's valued at $4 billion. They don't tell you that they bought this thing for $400 million. Now this $400 million with inflation, we should have, we could look back and see what that really is. I probably assume this $400 million at this point is probably closer to probably like $750 million in today's money. Still, and let me be clear, Splashcast, this is a ton of money. $750 million is a ton of money. For an NBA franchise, it's pennies.
You tripping?
$4
$4 billion. Oh, you talking about $400 million to buy the team?
Yes.
Pennies. Yes. 100% pennies. And then he flipped it for $4 billion. $4 billion.
B. And you have to remember, Robert Sarver is the guy who got caught doing everything: racism, sexism, misogyny. He's an overall menace. He's Draymond in The Office. And
Weinstein.
They also said they're also yes. Correct. Very correct. They said, so they paid, you got $4 billion for this. And this is very important, but also because we are the Splashcast and we really talk about the deeper parts of sports, this, and I don't know if everybody's paying attention, this is driving up the value of the Washington football team commandos. And every time that one of these teams is bought and sold, those values continue to increase.
They bought the Broncos for like $7 million, didn't they? $7 billion or something like that?
$4 billion. Yeah, like 4 or 5 billion, maybe 6 billion. I gotta go back and look. But Phoenix, not a great destination location, not the biggest market, good team. You got Devin Booker. You do have some assets. It's a team that's, definitely established, but surely in flux. And this team sold for $4 billion. So across, in the NFL, I think that this probably pushes the Washington Commanders' value to somewhere between $6 and $7 billion.
Dang. You be a misogynistic sexual deviant and you come up by $4 to $7 billion.
Yes, and then you help out your other misogynistic deviant friend and give him probably another $2 billion. And I think they're very close to forcing him out too. I think they very, very.
Oh, he's already started the process of looking for somebody to sell the team to.
Exactly, because he knows I get my $6 billion, I can get out, dog.
Let me ask you a question. We back at this dunk. Look at the coach.
I love it.
Because he had just got kicked out the game, right? Yeah, he got kicked out the game, and he was watching the game. This postseason. No, it's post game.
Yeah, this is post game. That's a good feeling when your coach is literally bent over more. When he's I had to get out of there, evacuate immediately. Your coach is showing an immense amount of enthusiasm for the play, and then it's your play, and you dunked on him to finish the game. It probably does not get better, and it's a Western Conference rival. You can't really ask for much more. Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
And as a guy who's been super hard on Aaron Gordon, he is playing great basketball. He seemed to find his spot here in Denver, and he's a monster.
So who had the better dunk?
Averaging like 20 points.
Who had the better dunk, Aaron Gordon or Drummond? Drummond jumped over somebody.
Drummond is an offensive lineman.
He's a freak athlete, quietly.
Yes.
And I wanted the Hawks to sign him so bad.
Hey, Charlotte Hornets, y'all are stupid. And I'm going to go ahead and say that because I'm fine with saying it. If you can't find the money to pay Andre Drummond or Mo Bamba, Mike Jordan, you need to get that damn team back. I know everybody plays, Norwood, another 2K trade here. I don't care what you're saying. If you're telling me that you have 2 centers on your team that are better than my center, I want the second one. There's no way I'm going to let Andre Drummond sit on the bench for the Bulls when I need a center.
The Bulls ended up winning this game, too.
They need some defense. Steve Clifford just said, we don't play any defense. The Hawks watch them play no defense. And then you have a guy who's at least a solid rim protector He's the greatest rebounder the Pistons have ever had, and they did have Dennis Rodman, and he does stuff like this. You need to find a way to get him on your team. But Mike Jordan, this is just a long laundry list of mistakes that you've made with your organization.
Yep. All right, and finally,
No. We got to go to the car first because I have to explain to you as I was putting to the list again. This is the first thing that happened I saw that I put on the list. Please go to his entrance.
so the Lakers ended up playing the Mavericks on Christmas Day. LeBron versus the white LeBron, aka Luka, out here, and this was, the Mavs and Christmas Day. Then
Hey, the world must know. See,
when Luka showed up like this, I said Luka going for 50.
I saw right here. I said, I feel prayers to the chumps, and I did not know he was playing LeBron. I did not know the Lakers was on the menu as the soup de jour, but I saw this first, and I said, boy, prayers to the person who has to guard him in this outfit and this fly-ass car. You are barbecue chicken. He came today to whoop ass.
In a 60-something Mustang. That's a 1960-something Mustang, ain't it? With the rims, though. He got the Dallas rims on there. With the black boots.
Boy, pull that top hat out and got the bolo tie and the cowboy boots. Hey, I can't eat lunch and whoop ass. I'm all out of lunch. Ooh, boy, he walked in like the motherfucking sheriff. Hey, here it is. Pew, pew. And while we talking about Luka, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to tell y'all that he had 60 points tonight, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists. Tonight, right now. Did it today. You can check Twitter. Shams reported it. 60-20-10. In
Who were they playing?
2022.
Who were they playing? Oh, they're playing the Knicks.
I don't care who he played.
He had 60
Who
points
let
on.
him-
He had 60 points on 31 shots.
Help me, Lord. We traded him for Trae Young. I hate myself. I hate myself. 60, 20, and 10.
After he had
What was-
50, after he led the Mavs to having 51 points in the third quarter. The Lakers were up by 11 at halftime and down by 20 after the third quarter.
51-point third quarter from the man who drank 2 tall boys at lunch.
He's like the Tyson Fury of basketball. Like Tyson Fury said he would drink 14 beers and then go spar for 14 rounds and won the world championship. Like, hey,
Look
man.
at this guy. Look at him. Don't look at the 51 points that he gave the Los Angeles Lakers in the third quarter. We will get back to the 51 points. Let's talk about, look at this man's stature. Look at his build. Not a muscle. There ain't a muscle on this man. There's not a vein that you can find. Ain't none of that. And somehow, ain't nothing over there. Ain't nothing over there. You still look. You knew I wasn't throwing nobody the ball. Who am I pass the ball to, fool? It ain't nobody else on this team but me and Christian Wood coming out the bench. That's it.
And they trying to trade him for John Collins.
Whoop. Now that is where I'm going to probably, I don't know what.
LeBron, big man. LeBron scored
Please.
38
Help me,
points
please.
and they lost. You know how mad you got to be if you LeBron? You lost to the Hornets and you had 40. You lost to Dallas and you had 38 points. 38, bro. Look at that. 82 to ooh.
80 again.
I wouldn't have went back in the
Tired of
game.
this.
I wouldn't have went back in the
This-
I don't care.
be me
Y'all
and my
call me
job.
what you
I'm
want.
so
Call me a
tired of
quitter.
this.
Call me soft, whatever. I'm out here. The person that we traded our entire future away. We ain't gonna be good till 2030.
You
We just-
traded away LeBron. You did it. You traded away Kyle Kuzma, Julius Randle, everybody. Anybody, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball, LiAngelo Ball, LaMelo Ball, anybody, a Spalding Ball. You traded away everybody, and now you got
D'Angelo
broke back
Russell.
AD.
Brokeback is so disrespectful.
AD hurt. He hurt all the time. 50 points, 50 points. All right, out indefinitely.
And Banchero got worked by LeBron. LeBron limited Banchero to 4, 5, and 3. Guarded him the whole game. Guarded him the whole game.
You got it right. They told me you hit. Nah.
Oh man, but hey man, y'all prayers to the Lakers because the Lakers are struggling. Boy, the thing is, they be good for like 5 games. They be looking like the 2000 Lakers. AD be out there averaging 70 points, 70 rebounds, 70 assists, 70 blocks, and 7 steals. And then he gets hurt. He lands funny on a free throw, and he's out for 70 games. It's like you don't know what's about to happen with AD. Every time, LeBron, it was funny. The GIF when the AD fell and LeBron was like, oh. Like, it was funny, but it was true. Like, every time AD fall or land funny and he start creaking up the court, looking like he need the oil, looking like the Tin Man, I be like, nah.
Hopefully y'all happy about that little bubble chip y'all got.
How many more years you think AD got? That's what when I ask that question, that's what I make. Like, how many more years can y'all rely on AD? No.
I'm gonna tell you, if I'm Dwight Howard and I'm playing in that Chinese basketball league over there, I'm trying to put up 40 every night to remind y'all that y'all pick AD in the top 75 and left me at home. I'm gonna find any of these small humans over here.
Y'all disrespect. Who's more disrespected? Dwight Howard. Who's more hated? Dwight Howard or Cam Newton?
Atlanta boy, y'all struggling now.
That's that, and they from the same side, same road.
Must be Tucson. Yeah, nah.
Westlake and Saka are 5 miles apart.
Yeah.
But anyway,
neither.
So that was the games. Of course, you know what's wild crazy about these Suns games and these Nuggets games. Jokic dropped 45, 15, 45, 20, and 10. And it's just like ho-hum. Like, it's like, yeah, he's been the first person to do that since Wilt Chamberlain. But then he does that on a Monday, and then they drop that stat, and then he do it on a Tuesday. And you be like, damn. Then he do it on like a Thursday. You be like, whoa.
The thing about that is you see Embiid do that and play defense.
No, you don't. You don't see Embiid do anything of 45, 20, and 10. You don't see Embiid do what Jokic does. You do not see Embiid do what Jokic does. Embiid is his own beast by himself. He does not do what Jokic does. Embiid does not average as many assists. Embiid, the offense is set up by James Harden. The offense is set up and run through Jokic. Now, Embiid is a problem. He'll give you 54, 8, and 3. Jokic... Yeah, 8, 12, 54 and 12.
Wait, hey, let's clarify. There's a big difference between getting 8 rebounds and getting 12 rebounds.
There's a big difference between 8 rebounds, 12 rebounds, and 21. 45, 21, and 10 is I mean, they said it every time. Nobody has done this except for Wilt Chamberlain. Nobody has done this except for Wilt Chamberlain. Nobody has done this except for Wilt Chamberlain. No, he is being less talked about, but leading the MVP race. He is leading the MVP race, and it's just like it's like ho-hum. Like,
well, let's see what we got. Embiid got 34 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Joker has 25 points, 11 rebounds, and a half assists. No, but no defense. It's actually kind of close.
It is.
You moving things around.
But the thing is, and it sucks that Embiid is going to be penalized for this. He's got James Harden, right? So when Embiid had 50 points, 10 rebounds, James Harden had 20 points, 21 assists because it all went to Embiid. Joker has Joker. Jamal Murray still isn't fully healthy. Nobody talked about Jamal Murray. Michael Porter Jr., I saw him for the first time in 2022. Yesterday. It is December 27th. I saw him for the first time in 2022 yesterday. Like, they traded, they got Bones Highland, who is, I mean, he's good, streaky. Like Joker is, if you take Joker,
Likewise.
it's if you take Joker, like Joker is everything for Denver. He is everything. There's nothing that could happen.
Take and beat off the Sixers. What you got left?
Harden. You take Joker off of there, who you got?
I mean, well, hey, wait, now. I told you, Aaron Gordon has been playing very good basketball. Quietly.
Okay. So you take Aaron Gordon over James Harden?
No, but Aaron Gordon getting the job done. I ain't gonna say that. And the Nuggets team. Now remember, we're not that far removed of watching the Sixers have no bench. We saw the bench come out and score 7 points multiple times. The Nuggets bench not gonna give 7. I've seen that team. If you give the bench, give you 9 points for a night.
Who's on the Nuggets bench? Bones Highland and who? Don't look it up. You just said don't look it up. Tell me anybody else other than Bones Highland that's on the Nuggets bench. They traded JaMychal Green. Bruce Brown,
you got from the Nets.
Uh-huh.
Jeff Green seems to find a way to not be old.
And he's hurt again.
I mean, it ain't. Ish Smith was hooping for
Ish Smith. Sound like the bitch is the same to me.
Hey, that's the same guy who gave Trey 20, 10, and 10. So
that ain't difficult. What you mean? Shit.
Damn, Michael Porter Jr., do you play basketball?
No, I'm telling you, I saw him for the first time in 2022 yesterday.
Dog. He's played 18 games this season.
Really?
Jesus.
I'm actually I would have taken the under on that.
18 games this season, 9 games last season, 61 games in 2020. 55, man, he done played 143 games in his career.
Let me ask you a question. You said he's played 18 games this season? 18? How much you think he's getting paid? I can tell you. It's right here.
The number that I was going to say there is a cuss word.
What's the number?
A shit ton.
$30 million. Remember, they re-signed him. $30 million a year.
Let me tell you this.
18
I don't want to hear
games.
nothing about DeAndre Hunter contract. Nothing. Not a damn thing. We got him on consignment compared to this.
$30 million for 18. He's played 18 games. He's got 19-4-1 against the Kings without Sabonis, and the Kings are beating them 60-41.
And I mean, I hate to say it, he be regular. 16, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. $30 million.
Oh no, he's got 23. He got 23 and 5.
But I mean,
Jokic got 12, 8,
this is another guy getting paid more than John Collins.
Kevin Hurd.
And I hate to say it, there's not one season that Michael Porter Jr. has been better than John Collins.
I mean, he's playing well. I mean, if he can stay healthy. But I mean, as much as we talk about the Hawks being hurt, I mean, 18 games for $30 million is just.
The issue with him is he's not a consistent enough scorer. He only giving you 19, on average 16 points.
You have the best passing big man possibly of all time. And you can't, all you have to do is just stay healthy. That's all you got to do.
And he's like, yeah, you either have to score. He doesn't, and I don't want this to seem like another, well, no, I'm not going to do that. He is one faceted. He's just a mediocre scorer. And I don't say a mediocre scorer. 16 points ain't no slouch, but I guess that is mediocre. That's about what Hunter is. He's a mediocre scorer. He don't play any defense. He's not a good rebounder, and he don't pass the ball and get you any assists.
You know what's wild crazy? This is the college football AAU era. He wasn't good in college. He only played one game. He played one game in college and hurt his back.
Hey, let me tell you where he's very good, though. 2K.
Yeah. Yeah, he like Bo Outlaw. Y'all remember Bo Outlaw in 2009? Bo Outlaw, you could turn him into Michael Jordan out there. All you had to do was just jump.
Speaking of 2K, while we're here, I'm gonna give you a video game update. Dynasty going well. Move Jalen. What's his name? Who plays for OKC? With the one lock and afro. What's his name? Played at Kansas.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking
My newest acquisition and a monster. Traded DeAndre Hunter. Adios.
about. Hey man, speaking of, now that we're done, hey, Luka and the Mavs, this LeBron, I don't know what LeBron's gonna do. LeBron out there stuck. He
Hey.
out there stuck.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, there is nobody who is happier about having a new job than Travis Sling. You traded Trae Young for the man who just scored 60, 20, and 10. You ain't the GM no more, boy.
Yeah. Yes. Speaking of people that put their foot in their mouth, though, Wally Zerbiak keeps talking about what's his name. So when I say what's his name, it's Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know why Wally Zerbiak got mad at Tyrese Halliburton.
Possession by the Pacers. And I don't know what Grimes is thinking here. You don't stop in the coffin corner unless you're planning to call a timeout. I was screaming at the TV, call a timeout, call a timeout, call a timeout. So we got 1 point game, 18 seconds left. Step back. Mr. supposed wannabe fake all-star with the big miss there. And then the rebound by Randall. And then Randall iced the game with all the free throws. Last chance down 3 for the wannabe all-star. Let me keep it that way. He's in his second year. He's a very good player. He's not going to make the all-star team. A guy like Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson will make it over Tyrese Halliburton. Tonight we saw why. Oh, it's his third year?
Third year, yeah.
Yes, you're right. Okay. But just an awesome performance. I mean, overall, the defense was stifling. The team, I mean, the Pacers played well. They made some tough shots in that third quarter. I mean, they fire up those threes, but they got
Oh, okay, goddamn.
a 1 point game.
And then Matt Barnes had this to say.
Is just completely this bum ass motherfucker Wally Zerbiak is just completely disrespecting. Yeah, exactly. Tyrese Halliburton, who's leading the league in assists, calling him a fake all-star and fake this and fake that. I'm just like why? Like, what's the point of that? Like, what do you get out of that? You know, you're on these people are on these, and I'm on a regional network. You know, I'm out here in SAC doing NBC Bay Area, but it's just like I don't see why former players feel like it's their spot, or that does it make them feel better to disrespect these guys. Like, to me, this shit is super weak. I don't like it. It's just like there's been 5,000 players in the history of the NBA. So that's why it bothers me when former players feel like they have to shit on the younger players, because out of the history of the game, only 5,000 people have ever played this game, and everybody in the world wants to be in the NBA, so these guys can respect and understand how hard it is for these young boys to kind of make their way. But I just see it so often, man. It's just like, man, it's a tough position. But if you know the game well enough, you can talk about plenty of other shit. And again, we have to critique. That's part of our job. But to me, you can critique without disrespecting. I thought what Zerbiak did was some bitch ass shit.
Lord.
Yep. I agree with that.
New media.
Wally Zerbiak, I remember your one good season with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, cool that down, big dog. You need to do what they call shutting the fuck up. This ain't for you. This is not the time. Let's go ahead and go through the whole Halliburton. He was in Sacramento. Did not really want to leave Sacramento. They traded him, and he was happy to now be in Indiana. He's playing fantastic for a different team. I think the trade worked out for all parties involved.
Best trade of the year.
He's been a consummate professional. He's going out on a team that most people believe is not fully equipped, and the only big man that they have left is in every trade talk next to John Collins every week. And with all of that said, he gets
He ain't
out
really that
there,
good.
and he's playing with 3 other good guards. Benedict Mathurin is right there in the top 5 rookies of the year. You have Chris Duarte, who was a draft pick either last year or the year before.
Finally healthy.
Very good.
Finally healthy.
And you got Buddy Hield. And with all of that said, out of those 4 guys, you want to know who's the best? It's him.
Easily. The only reason those other guys are probably as good as they are is because of him. Like, I don't.
I ain't gonna say that either. Now, Benedict Mathurin's a man.
He is, but you also got to realize.
I think LeBron is good, but I'm better than LeBron. I like him.
Foolish. But what I'm saying is, he sets that. I watched the game today. He sets them up very well. Like,
Oh yeah.
Buddy Hield has been a good shooting guard his entire career. He can shoot, but the way that he gets the ball in the shooting pocket every time. He gets the ball right here. Like, he don't have to none of that, right? He don't have to do none of that. Saw it tonight. Like, and Benedict Mathurin just like, but they just like, he makes all the right decisions, and I don't understand. Like, it makes me think that there's something else there. Like, he tried, because of course he's with the Knicks. This is the Madison Square Garden network, but like, why did you single him out? Like, did he not give you an interview? Did he not talk? Because that was personal. That had nothing to do with basketball acumen at all. Which is why everybody's laughing at your stupid self. Like,
and I can understand how sometimes you misspeak. You wanted to find a way to say
he doubled down though. No, he doubled down. He doubled down. You can't. I ain't finish your statement. He ain't misspeak though. He doubled down.
People double down on dumb all the time. With that said, you said the wrong thing, and when you said the wrong thing, you just need to. You should apologize for that. Fake All-Star is a shock. And as a media member, you have a responsibility, because you know that's how people end up not being all-stars. Now, I don't think that the vast majority of the world is listening to you, Wally Szczerbiak, or knew what you were doing probably 2 weeks ago, Wally Szczerbiak, to be completely honest. But this is irresponsible, and it's just trash. You pull the trash move, just own up to you being recyclables and move on.
Yep, and you know what Buddy Hield had to say.
You benefit from playing with Jason and Jalen every day, practicing with them. How did they kind of maybe help your development? You benefit from
say it again, buddy.
Jalen every day, practicing with them. How did they kind of maybe help your development?
Jesus.
You benefit from playing with Jason and Jalen every day.
My man said your Sacramento can be invited to one of my appendages. Like, should have said that to Wally Szczerbiak.
Yes. But Sacramento's a good team now. They have pieces that work to me. You got Kevin Huerter in a much less stressful role. You have now. It is unfortunate. Sabonis. I think they say he tore a ligament in his thumb.
He's gonna try to play through it.
He's gonna try to play through it. I don't know exactly how I feel about that as a team that I don't think is competing for a world championship. I'm probably not allowing my best player to play when I know he is 100% hurt.
But the thing is, this is the best they've been in the last decade.
I understand that. You got to get people to spend money with you. That's tough.
I mean, while we're talking about it, they're playing.
But you
Nuggets
could
now.
take.
Jokic got a triple-double through three quarters.
You tunked, and I just made that word up for that very reason. If they get Victor, and you could move Sabonis to like a point forward position, you have Kevin Huerter play the shooter, and De'Aaron Fox. Oh my goodness gracious! Early in the morning, late at night. Prayers to all parties involved. You got you a team.
Well, I'm interested to see how Victor will assimilate into the NBA. He's really good. He's a problem. He's a problem, but he also needs the ball in his hands. Like, from what I've seen, everything I've seen, he always has the ball in his hand. I mean, he's the best player on that team, but you don't ever see him.
Don't dribble the ball, Reggie.
Well, what I'm saying is, what is he gonna look like off the ball? Like how you coaching wise, that's pressure coaching, because you have to figure out a way to make it work. He's too good for it not to work. It's impossible. You have Sabonis and Victor, or you have Victor and anybody. The only place that he could go that it doesn't work and it wouldn't be on the coach is San Antonio, because they don't really have.
Oh,
they have
you crazy.
They have a bunch of pieces, like a bunch of pieces. It's like they took a bunch of pieces from different puzzles and put them in one box. So they got a bunch of pieces. But
I'm high pick and roll Sabonis to Victor all day. You got to pick one of these. Whatever you pick is wrong. And Victor probably good enough as a passer, you could kind of interchange him. Pick and roll. Hey, feed and swap. Oh man, so many different things.
New Tim Duncan, David Robinson. So you think Victor is gonna have a rookie season comparable to Paolo? Because Paolo's rookie season is just as good as Kevin Durant and LeBron James, which is probably the pinnacle of modern. And when I say modern, the last 20 years of basketball.
If he can do this every game for the rest of his life, he's a Hall of Famer.
22.
You don't have to get any better. If you do this for the rest of your career, dog, you're good.
Defensively, he has to get better, but he is insane.
Defensively, y'all need the team better get better. Y'all better find somebody else. I can dribble. That is the part about him that separates him from really any other. That's the reason he's in this category.
Yeah.
He's not a guy who's dependent on action, picks, any of that. I have a handle.
Ooh, Jordan averaged 28, 7, and 6, and 2.4 steals and a block as a rookie.
Who?
Michael Jordan.
No, say Jeffrey when you talk about him.
28, 7, 6, 2 steals and a block as a rookie.
Go.
He scored. Michael Jordan won the scoring title as a rookie.
Go.
He was
Billy.
NBA All-Star, first team
Go.
All-NBA and Rookie of the Year award from day one. We talking about these stats of 20-4, 20-5, 22 and or we'll round up 20-4, 21-6,
We'll help y'all.
and 22-7. This motherfucker averaged 28, 7, 6, and 2. He averaged
Billy
2.4
Goldberg.
steals a game. No shit, Paolo, you right. You are gonna be a Hall of Famer, but Michael Jordan. Cause I was like, okay, they make it it's a reason. You notice on all these posts and memes that don't nobody put Jordan stats up when they talk about rookie stuff.
No, because you want it to look normal.
It's like Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. They just don't put them stats on.
This is about people who are comparable to him, not just the people who had great rookie seasons. You're trying to find people, the guys who he's comparable to just are both Hall of Famers and probably top 10 basketball players of all time. KD top 10?
Yeah, greatest scorer of all time.
I mean, 10 is tight now.
Greatest scorer of all time.
I agree, but 10 is tight, and I don't see him in a lot. He's actually not in very many top 10 lists, honestly. He's not. Even in his position, he's third for most people.
I think he's positionless.
I mean, I agree, but I definitely agree. I really, in my heart of hearts, I wish Kevin Durant had played shooting guard his whole life, and I wish LeBron had played point guard his whole life. It's 2K Norwood talking.
Yeah. Let's see. Michael Jordan, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Kareem, Bill Russell, Magic, Wilt Chamberlain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 right there. Then you got Tim
You said
Duncan, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, Steph Curry. Then
You can't put him.
yeah, you can't put him ahead of. You can put him ahead of Larry Bird. You can't put him ahead of
Steph.
or
Can't put him ahead
Tim
of Steph.
or Tim. You can put him ahead of Hakeem. You can't put him ahead of Tim.
Ooh.
I know.
Only
I know.
shows-
You down there in
Yeah,
Houston. I wouldn't say that if I was down there, but I mean,
I seen the Dream Shake in
me too. We've all seen it in person. But hey, not to bury the lead. Shout out to Paolo.
Baby. Omni days.
Yes, sir. But shout out to Paolo, man, and shout out to y'all for tuning in with us to finish up the Splashcast around the league. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Fury. We appreciate y'all, man.
Nice.
I'm gonna have some editing to do because now we have 2-hour segments to edit down. But again, we appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Put out football and basketball.
By itself,
I
whatever.
would name it. Football segment, basketball segment. Pick the sport that you like. Episode 83. I got a cousin named Rico. Shout out to my cousin Rico. Stay away from the Rico.
Oh man, but Nor, if we ain't miss anything, man, we can go ahead and sign on off.
We never do. Yes, always remember. Follow me. If you look down, that is my Instagram at Ludacris. Over there, that's Reggie. You look down, that's his Instagram at Atlanta Rays. Please follow us at the Splashcast. Also, Splashcast 24 pack. I'm gonna give y'all something if you're still up hanging out with us. It's out now. You go look right down on Spotify and Apple Music. Playlist posted on it. Both right now. For everybody else who listens to this on the playback, you will hear it tomorrow. Go click. You might want to hear it tomorrow. But when you do hear it, go to the playlist. Follow that too. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Always, 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 always. Number one. More Black Baseball. More Black Baseball. Shout out to the Braves for signing Sean Murphy. Entire core is signed. He ain't Black Baseball, but he's helping Black Baseball be better. We support it. Number two. More Black Cowboys and more Black Cowgirls. Number 3. Historically Black college university that you graduated from, your cousin graduated from, your auntie graduated from, that one neighbor who, when you was locked out of your house and couldn't go to nobody's house, you went to their house. If they graduated from an HBCU, send some money over there. Historically Black college university in the neighborhood which you live right now. The ones you go to tailgate, the ones you go to step shows. If you just want to go to the yard and know where Black people are and see them, send some money over there. And then finally, we're only asking for $18.68 to uplift the greatest learning institution in all the world. If you question which one it is, I will help you out. It is the Hampton University in Southern Virginia. It is the one that they actually molded a different world after, one of the greatest shows of all time. Please send some money over there. With that said, I think we've covered all the bases. Red, you got anything for him before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right. With that said, only one thing for me and Ray to do now. What's that, my guy? Hang out.
Hang out.
This joint once again. We love you. The Splashcast loves you. Happy New